Vince Gill, the resonant voice behind Go Rest High on That Mountain, a poignant anthem that has tenderly comforted countless generations through their darkest hours of grief, stands as a titan in country music. With an astonishing 22 Grammy Awards adorning his shelves and an undisputed place among country music's most revered and respected names, Gill has meticulously built his enduring legacy not on fleeting trends or superficial glamour, but on the bedrock principles of unwavering honesty, profound humility, and a heart brimming with authentic emotion. Yet, despite his widespread recognition and the seemingly open book of his public persona, few truly comprehend the private battles he has stoically faced, the profound, often silent tragedies that have irrevocably shaped both his music and his soul, and the unconventional choices that have at times stunned even his most dedicated and longtime fans. What he has just recently revealed adds an entirely new, deeply human layer to an already illustrious career, a journey defined by quiet strength, profound resilience, and an unwavering devotion to his craft and his loved ones. In the year 1968, Vince Gill was merely an 11-year-old boy living what appeared to be a simple, idyllic, and joyful childhood in the suburban tranquility of Norman, Oklahoma. His days revolved around the comforting routines of school, the warmth of shared family meals, and the profound comfort he found in patiently picking out simple melodies on his cherished little 4-string tenor guitar. His father, J. Stanley Gill, a respected federal judge by profession and an ardent amateur musician by passion, frequently played alongside his young son, gently nurturing the boy's early love for music and fostering his raw talent. Vince's world, grounded in the comforting rhythms of a close-knit, loving family, felt secure and predictable until one shattering phone call pierced that tranquility and changed everything. The devastating news arrived. His older half-brother, Bob Cohen, had been involved in a horrific car accident. The injuries Bob sustained were catastrophic and life-altering in their severity. He fell into a deep coma that would tragically last for 3 agonizing, hope-draining months. For young Vince, who had always looked up to his energetic, free-spirited older brother with boundless admiration, the sterile and hushed confines of the hospital became a haunting place filled with oppressive silence and lingering fear. When Bob finally regained consciousness, he was no longer the vibrant boy Vince remembered. The accident had left him with profound and permanent brain damage. He could no longer speak coherently, care for himself independently, or interact with the world in any meaningful way. The lively boy who once ran through thunder-drenched fields with Vince, laughing and teasing, was effectively gone, replaced by a heartbreaking, unresponsive version of himself, a spirit trapped inside a broken body. For Vince, this was not merely a loss through death, but a deep emotional rupture in the very fabric of his family life. Watching his parents, especially his beloved mother, quietly grieve while caring for a son who was no longer truly present left an indelible mark on his young soul. Bob remained in that diminished condition for the next 25 years before passing away in 1993. By then, Vince had already become a celebrated and Grammy-winning musician. That same year, he released Let There Be Peace on Earth, a Christmas album filled with personal emotion and reflection. One song on the album, It Won't Be the Same This Year, became a raw expression of his grief, capturing the aching absence of someone once loved, not just in death, but long before that in life itself. Vince would later reflect in interviews, "Every time I sing that song, I see that 11-year-old boy again." The tragedy did more than mark his childhood with sadness. It shaped his voice, his vulnerability, and the deep empathy listeners hear in his music today. By the late 1980s, Vince Gill's name had become familiar within Nashville's recording studios. Musicians respected him for his extraordinary guitar playing and soulful voice, yet he had not yet achieved the global fame of a country superstar. He had played with the country rock band Pure Prairie League and even served as their frontman for a time. His solo albums for RCA Records, The Things That Matter and The Way Back Home, earned praise from critics but did not achieve major commercial success. While fellow musicians hailed him as one of the best guitar players around, Nashville's hit-driven industry left him hovering on the edge of becoming a musician's musician rather than a household name. Then an extraordinary opportunity arrived. Mark Knopfler, the legendary leader of the rock band Dire Straits, personally invited Vince to join the band. At that time, Dire Straits were among the biggest acts in the world, riding the massive success of their album Brothers in Arms and performing sold-out stadium tours across continents. Knopfler admired Vince's lyrical guitar style and warm, honest vocals and offered him a permanent position in the band. For most musicians, it would have been a dream come true, instant global fame and a guaranteed place on the world's biggest stages. But Vince Gill hesitated. After deep reflection, he declined the offer. In later interviews, he explained that accepting would have taken him down a path that no longer felt true to himself. "I loved what they did," he admitted. "But once I went down that road, I wouldn't come back. I wanted to tell my stories." Turning down Dire Straits was not just a professional gamble. It was a commitment to his own artistic identity. For years afterward, especially during difficult periods in his career, he wondered whether he had made the right choice. Then everything changed. In 1989, he released When I Call Your Name, an album that became a defining moment in country music. The title track, a gentle and heartbreaking ballad, showcased the emotional depth of his voice and won him his first Grammy Award. The album propelled him into the mainstream and proved that his decision to follow his own path had been the right one. Looking back, Vince later said, "I'd rather be me at a small club than someone else in a sold-out arena." In December 1993, while filming a television special titled Christmas with Vince Gill in Tulsa, Oklahoma, another unexpected chapter of his life began. The show's producers invited Amy Grant, the reigning queen of Christian pop, to appear as a guest. When she walked into the rehearsal room, Vince immediately noticed her vulnerability and exhaustion after a demanding schedule. With his gentle humor, he greeted her warmly, easing the tension in the room. That evening they sang together, and their voices blended with effortless harmony. It was supposed to be a one-time collaboration, but it sparked a connection that would grow over time. Over the next few years they worked together again, including a duet called House of Love. At that time both were married to other people. Vince to Janice Oliver of Sweethearts of the Rodeo, and Amy to Christian singer Gary Chapman. Both marriages were quietly struggling, though the public did not know it. Despite rumors, Vince and Amy insisted that their relationship during that period remained respectful and professional. Eventually, however, both marriages ended, Vince's in 1997 and Amy's in 1999.